So let's add some more detail, and we have a structure. So if we activate the superstructure, we can see that we'll just add another model to that view. So let's go to the Explore 4D, and we can see now we have a structure as well, so a few stories, and we will now just add the locations for this, for floor 1, 2, and 3, and then maybe divide that into a couple of locations. So we go to the LBS manager, we define locations, and we then split the building. We've at the moment just got this first floor, which is the block. We want to actually divide the project into more stories, so we'll add another 2 floors, and we'll call them second and third, and we will change the elevation of the second floor to be very easily 10 feet, and the third floor to be 20. I like working with demo models. So now we need to add to each of these a set of zones like we did for the foundations. But in order to see these splits, we just need to quickly reactivate that model. And that will then split the model that we have seen into those stories as well. So even if the columns for each of these floors was drawn as a full height column, you can see that now these columns are actually per story. When we isolate, you can see it's just showing us what's on that one story. So pretty powerful, not requiring your architect or whoever's creating your 3D model to have to follow necessarily that convention. We would like them to follow some conventions, and it makes it a whole lot easier if they follow many conventions. But if you have no authority over how the model is being created, that's essentially a very, very beneficial function of the LBS manager. Let's flick to the floor plan view for that first floor, and let's just add, let's not spend too much time over this, but let's just add a split for each one of these. So I can go to the floor plan view and cut this so that we've got two pours on each of these zones, on each of these floors. And you can see them underneath there. So if we reactivate that model for it, we will see all of the elements split, all of the quantities update, and when we go to our schedule, we will then see the new tasks with the new quantities in the structure. So now we've got the 2 locations on the first floor, second floor, and third floor, and we've got the formwork, the rebar, the concrete, and the stripping for the structural tasks. And we want to balance these by saying we need maybe, I think we've got 20 people that we can put on the formwork, and the rebar, let's see how many we need. 5 guys supposedly there on the rebar. Concreting, we need 3, and a pump and all the equipment, obviously. And here we've got 4 carpenters stripping. So instantly we're able to balance the resources. We can see how they look in the resource histogram, and all of these durations are based on where we've split the model. And I won't go into so much more detail, but let's just have a look at the building, the full building altogether. Let me just reorder those locations at the bottom so that it looks visually appealing. And we can see that now we have the foundation with the piling and all of the foundations going in, and then we have the formwork and the structure going up, and we would probably like to see what this looks like in the 4D playback now, but I'll save us from seeing something. The 4D is a great way of visualizing and seeing if the sequence is correct, and I think that everyone would notice in the sequence that we would be starting the next floor before we'd even finished and stripped the floor below. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to show how just so easy it is to then add more detailed logic using the location structure.